8 o'clock. Are we? Yes, we are.
Okay. Is it a hump or a drop? What do you say? You've got to twist your words in every which way, because the model will always dictate what you do. Everybody knows that you've got the model affliction blues. Is it a straight line, or does it curve? Some people don't clamp it, but that is absurd. We all know that the model dictates what you do. And everybody knows that you've got the model affliction blues. Model affliction, it's your addiction. Model affliction, it brings you so much pain. It's your ball and chain. Conflating curvature with elevation change. Just got your local distance just out of range. That oblique is gonna dictate everything that you do. And everybody knows that you've got the model affliction blues. Model affliction, it's your addiction. Model affliction, it brings you so much pain, and it's your ball and chain. It's your decision defending the model position. You just don't know the geometric proposition. That old ball will always be illogical to you. That's why perpendicularity is a puzzle to you. Model affliction, it's your addiction. That old model affliction, it brings you so much pain. It's your ball and chain. And everybody knows that you've got the model affliction blues.
Works really good with this guitar.
Is it a hump or a drop? What do you say? You got to twist your words in every which way. We all know that the model dictates what you do. Well, got it, the model affliction blues. Model affliction. Model affliction. Model affliction. Well, we know you got it, the model affliction blues.
And we are live. Welcome, everybody. Model Affliction Monday. And yeah, it's really turning up the heat now on the on those of us that just sort of go with the geometric truth. I like words to mean things. I like just an old school understanding of words, I think. Seems like there's a new school. People that want to just redefine things in the mind. Come with new definitions of things, but have no backing to them. So, welcome. This is only going to be a short show today because I want to go out and catch, hopefully, Fata Morgana or something like that with the camera for a sunset or after sunset. So that's not too far off. So the show will definitely be going on in the Discord. We'll just go to Southport and take some pictures. But so when we end this show shortly today, come into the Discord and no doubt conversations or whatever will still be ongoing. But I just can't stream it to YouTube while I'm on the move. Not got a traveling studio yet. So yeah, if everybody click the link to the Discord if you want to come in and just sort of listen or whatever. I mean, that's what it's all about. It's all about the Discord. It's going all day. And it has been going all day as well. We've got some new fans. I don't know what to call them. Obfuscators. You want to know how the globe model manages to obfuscate every argument into a non-argument, or every comment into a non-argument to waste your time? Well, next level Discord chat, you know, in the live chat, that's the place you want to be. Some of the most severely model afflicted people, I think. Well, just the biggest obfuscators I've ever seen. All fighting for a model that they don't even want to talk about or consider. So if anybody's got anything they want to go over for the model, any of the model guys, I mean, I know Jesse was just in here a little bit earlier saying he's got some sort of a proof that horizontals aren't parallel. I said definitely the model affliction, that would lead you to try and do that. Of course, he's got nothing to back it. Just a statement or two. Maybe some pictures he's seen on the internet. Maybe read them somewhere on a website. Obviously discussed quite heavily with it amongst his friends as some sort of globe proof. Let me see if I can find a thing I wanted to go over, because I did say that I'd go over I Can Science That and his video. I think it was only a short video. Oh, it's a 12-minute video. Are you all guys all right if we go over that? 12-minute video and then I can get going. I said I'd go over it, and I honestly I haven't looked at this yet, so I'll look at it live. Get you guys, get the screen. Any spot-ons listening?
Yeah.
Have you seen how he's
I went over there and made a comment on that video, and I was just bombarded with all this. Well, I mean, in the end, I just come away from it because it's just too many people, too many things being said, and yeah. Hopefully, well, we'll go over it now. That's brilliant. Yeah.
And he has changed the title of it. Let me get rid of these. Next. Right, okay. So, you guys see that in the YouTube? You guys can see that in the Discord, can you? See, he's got 891 subs. Oh, look at this, 700 subs. He's gained a fair few subs over the last few days. Okay, so we'll have a look at the comments afterwards if we've got time. This is I Can Science That, who came over the other day. He made this video about 12 hours after coming round and having a discussion. And I don't think... yeah. Right, yeah. So this is the test that we're on about doing. I think his interpretation. He wants me to check over it, so we'll do it live for you.
Welcome to I Can Science That. This afternoon I had a discussion with Bev Try Thinking about a water level test that he has conducted. As we discussed, I'm hoping we're going to have a follow-up live chat, but I wanted to get this out there right away because I don't know exactly when we'll be able to schedule that. So for now, there was some question about whether I fully understood Bev's test and how it worked. So I'd like to take this opportunity to echo back to you exactly what I understood of how it worked. Please let me know, throw in the comments right away if there's anything about this that I am describing incorrectly, and straighten me out about that before we even talk. Okay? All right, so here's Bev's water level test. We start with the water level. It's a very long water level, and it has 4 risers on it. By very long, my understanding was that from the first riser to the next, that's a 200-meter section of water tube, and then there's a 100-meter section and another 100-meter section. So this whole thing here is, I understand, that would make that 400 meters long. Correct me if I've got those numbers wrong. Honestly, the numbers shouldn't be that crucial if we agree that this is a very long water level, and it should be long enough that if there's any curvature in the surface of the water, we should be able to detect it. Right?
Wow, like that. Should be straight, but I mean, it doesn't matter the size of it, right? Really? Not to me. You could make it as long as you wanted. That's what I'd say anyway. If a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference, then you can make it 100 meters long, you can make it 200 meters long, you can make it 500 meters long, 1600 meters long. Doesn't really matter. It'd still be the same tool doing the same job, in my understanding.
Right? That's the point. I believe that's the point here. Okay, and then we bring in a second water level of the same design pointing the other way. Overlapped like so. So here we
shared straight line segment in the middle. Boom. That's what it is. What the test is. geometric.
We have another water level. I've drawn this one in red so that we can see the difference between the two. And this is supposed to represent a 200-meter gap, a 100-meter gap, a 100-meter gap. And these pair of risers, I've got them drawn very close to each other to indicate that those are, in reality, those were set up very close to each other so that the two tubes are adjacent, that we could see, we could compare the water level between those two tubes. Now, Bev had asked specifically as I draw this diagram, could I please put an observer, a human being at either end? So let's do that. Put stick person lady
Emma.
over there
There
at the one end, and at the other end we have a stick man. How do we perform the actual test? What are the measurements that we take? What we do is we start here on the left, and then we'll walk to the first pair of risers. So let's say one riser from each of the water levels and they are adjacent. They're near each other.
Yeah.
Because they're near each other, it's very easy to measure the difference between their water levels at that point. Just hold up a ruler and you can just measure how high, what is the difference, right, between those two. So if there's a little bit of an offset, put a ruler and just measure what's the difference between those water levels. Then we'll walk 100 meters to the next pair of risers and do the same thing.
I need one of those
Compare
walking
them,
fellas.
measure the displacement between them. Write that down. Then go to the third pair and measure their displacement. As I've drawn here, the understanding that Bev's team is working with comes
Bev's
from
team?
something that was stated multiple times as the law of communicating vessels. And Bev's team has interpreted that law of communicating vessels to mean that all the surface, these surface points of this contained vessel, right? The same vessel here, this water is all connected, unbroken throughout this red tube. And so their interpretation of the law of communicating vessels is that all four of those points must be at the exact same plane. They must form a plane.
Yeah.
And then we have another one here, this green one, that also forms a plane, right? There's a second plane. And since we overlap the two planes, we're overlapping those two planes at those 3 points, meaning those planes are in fact coplanar. It is one plane that they share.
Yes, exactly. I think, spot on. I think he's got it spot on there, right? Shared
Yes, so
straight
far, so
line,
good.
shared plane, right in the center. That's exactly right. That's exactly what it is there to show. That's the geometric proposition that we put forward with this.
So far, so
Yeah,
good.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. Yes, it was good up until this point. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's good so far. Yeah.
Is that all loud enough for everyone? That you guys in YouTube, can you hear him loud enough?
And
'Cause-
YouTube, it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, good. Because I haven't got him on loud, so he must have really good sound on there, right? So, yeah, carry on.
Great show Friday, Bev. You know, I'm sorry I wanted to join, but my Discord kept acting up, so I had to shut it down, and I just listened on YouTube. But really good show Friday. Loved it.
Yeah. I think Friday was probably one of the best. I've got a video that I want to go over. You know, of when he did actually come over. I really want to do that. So yeah, YouTube chat's good. Yeah. Yeah, like he's getting it, right? It's all this is realizing Euclid, like I said. All we're doing is we're taking principles of something that we can establish in reality to establish a plane and applying Euclidean geometry principles to that to show starting off in proposition 1 for the realizing Euclid for the plane, to show that no part of that plane can lie within it and another part without it, right? It can't, only part of the plane can't lie in there. So we decided to do it specifically with a shared straight line segment in the middle. geometric principles. It has geometric backing, this particular statement. I mean,
yeah, and it's and well, I've been wondering all this time as to why, you know, none of these people, and I think I put in a comment that, you know, he's the first one that I know of that's actually grasped what we're trying to do there.
yeah.
And I think of the many that have, you know, come, and we've never even got to this point. I don't think. Well, maybe we have now, but yeah. So yeah.
I like it. He seems to have got the understanding, at least the geometric understanding of it, to me.
Yeah, he gets the premise. That's a great start. Yeah.
Right. So that is the understanding. That is my understanding of this test and how it was performed and what it is based on. And ultimately, what I think is worth noting about this test is that it is based on the understanding that these 4 points, 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 risers on the connected water level must be in a single plane, right? That is the point that I think we should be investigating, because that is the point where this version differs from mainstream science. All right.
See, now, I don't know what he's saying there. In order for us to do this test, we wanted to do it, right? Initially, we said we wanted to do it over 1 mile or 2 miles, right? But then it became ridiculous, the amount of hose pipe that we'd have, and you know, what would we do with it afterwards, and like all of those sort of things became ridiculous. So we tried to make it as short as we could, make it as cheap as we could, so we could actually do it. We could actually achievably do this for ourselves.
Afford it, because like you say, we weren't asking for any money, and it's something that anyone, you know, with £100 can buy. 400 meters of hose, so distilled water. I mean, we used the same exact water distilled, and it's a cheap test.
What's that?
And the results will have been the same over 2 miles.
Well, the idea was that anybody else could also do this and join on. Like, we could just link them together and more and more. It's just a shared straight line. Doesn't matter how many of them. Doesn't matter how long they are. You could just link all of these water levels together.
It's an awesome idea.
Anyone can do it. Cost us 100 quid. All of the pipe and the reel to put the thing on. Spot on.
And they should all join you. I mean, and just link up where yours ends. Continue on from there.
Well, I mean, we could do where the end, but I mean, we have a shared bit in the middle to show a shared straight line, right? So they're all overlapping.
Exactly. And you could have some... Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, go on, mate. Go on. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I'm done.
I was going to say the connectors that we used were completely, there were no leaks, drips. You know, there were push fittings, and we used ties to really fasten them. So I mean, we didn't want to make the same mistake as some other guy made. With the leaky water level test. We wanted to make sure that we were using, well, like I said, we used the same water. Bev bought his distilled water in a 5-litre bottle that I filled up, my water level that morning with the water that he bought.
Yeah, it was a good day. I mean, I thought it was great because we actually got to meet somebody and actually do a test, and worked out whether we could actually do it. And yeah, we can. It's not that hard.
Did you say you used distilled water?
Yeah.
Can I ask why?
Because we do distilled water. I mean, like, why not use distilled water?
I'm just
clean
wondering if
it.
there's a particular reason.
Well, just this. What it is, someone online had mentioned in our Discord some time before I had actually bought mine. Bev had already got his first, and so someone had mentioned, oh, it'd be a good idea to use like an antifreeze, and I thought, and it was coloured, and I thought that'd be a good idea. And I filled mine up, and I had no end of problems with it. So I had to flush it all out, and then I used the tap water and another technique, and I had some air bubbles in it, and then in the end, it was it was really simple to do because it was just gravity fed, as they say, from a height. So we just used a height, which I put it up in the top bedroom, and it just siphons down, and you don't have any air bubbles in it, and it worked well. But yeah, the antifreeze, I had there were bubbles in it, and I had problems with it.
Yeah, as long as you don't pressure feed it, you don't end up with any air bubbles or anything. And using distilled water, it was about as pure as you were going to get for water.
I thought maybe you were doing it because of the lack of minerals and stuff in the water, in distilled water.
Well, we just sort of, yeah.
Yeah, the cleanest water.
No, I'm just curious. Yeah. That's all.
Well, I do have a water distiller, and I do only use distilled water. I put that as one of my benefits towards clear thinking. Distill your water, people. But yeah, it just made sense to put it in the water levels.
I've actually got a distiller, the same one as Bev now, so I haven't got to ask him to provide the water next time.
I just got a notification from RV Truth. It says Professor Dave, Flat Earth debunker, admits his content is not his content.
Right, can we carry on with this? I've got to go out and do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, all right. Go.
Right? So let me now illustrate how this exact same test, performed in the exact same way, is predicted to come out according to mainstream science. Now,
what, he wants us to do a thing on mainstream science? I think mainstream science says that the water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is where you can see by the picture.
Yeah.
I don't want to say this is right. I'll even back away from saying this is what I believe. Let's just say I understand that there are two hypotheses here, and this really should be considered as one of them. Is
he's forgetting about the drop, isn't he? He's just going to go with a hump model. See now, there's a paradox. There's a paradox.
This is taught as a mainstream science, right? This is what science says the world looks like.
This. Okay.
Hugely exaggerated the curvature, but they say we live on a giant globe, right? A great sphere.
If anybody wants to know, model Affliction. You're watching it right now.
Asteroid, if you will. So here I have my two people at either end, and we're going to bring in a water level. So mainstream science says that a great honking water level laid down on the curve of the Earth will produce levels like so.
Like so? That's up, isn't it?
Exactly.
Is that what they say? I'm not too sure.
This was the comment that, I had this bombarding of people's. All I said was, look, something like, one end looks higher than the other one.
Yeah.
I mean,
it does look like that one there doesn't even reach that dotted line. And that one does. So even in his own model, he's not got it right. I know it's only a little bit, but that's definitely higher than this one. can you not say it isn't?
Yes, because he
Bev,
thinks
is there-
that it lies on the globe, but in fact, you will be doing on the straight line, and you will establish straight line first for that,
Sorry.
not curved level, straight line.
What's higher?
This bit here in the center. It's higher, obviously. It's above this guy's head, and it's above this woman's head. Like above, higher.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he's doing a rudimentary drawing of it, so it's not
It's definitely
Yeah,
higher.
well,
completely accurately. But what
definitely
he's trying
higher.
to show is all those water tubes are the exact same elevation.
They're
That's what he's
not.
trying
They're
to show.
not.
They're not
According
though,
to
are
that.
they,
It's
Alpha?
got a gap,
Come on,
They are,
gap
that's what he's
there.
intending, though. They're the same.
Oh, that's what he was intending. They're not the same elevation. These ones here in the center are higher. Fact.
They are not on the same elevation regarding to straight line, which was and will be established first.
Well, yeah, but paper, you're now talking about whether the Earth is curved or it's
No, he's talking about a
planar.
water level. No. He's talking about a water level. This water level is above the surface. It is a horizontal
exactly.
plane established
exactly.
away from the surface.
But you see, with a long
Even
water level,
altitude.
if the Earth, because like what Spot On said, gravity, over a long distance, if the Earth shape is generally
Okay, so you're
curved
saying
and
that
growing
this is what
backward,
happens? Is
this
this what?
is what would happen? If
It
it's-
would go
and this will
up,
all
would
be the
it?
same
It will
elevation.
go up.
Oh, Bev, can I just clarify? When I said gravity fed, that's is the downward vector, right? Just down. That's what I'm
Right,
talking
towards-
about, right? I'm not
towards the
talking.
ground, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Sorry, Bev, go on.
But so what the difference, what he's saying here, Bev, is that these will all be the same elevation, but they will not be horizontal. That
They're
will be
not the
globe.
same elevation.
His intention is these are the same elevation. This is just a rudimentary diagram. So if he's made a
Well,
mistake,
wouldn't it be nice to have an actual diagram? I mean, this guy is presenting this after presenting what we presented. Now, we presented our test, right? With, and that's...
Well,
and
I
he tried
gave him
to-
the geometric backing as well for a straight line.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
will
Well,
be
the thing is, also, Alpha, you on this, this guy he's we're aware that the water level, it doesn't matter what's below it. The ground is irrelevant, right?
yes. If
Is it Alpha? Is the ground
Yeah.
irrelevant? You agree with that, right?
it should
well,
should be on the tangent for you. For
Hold on,
your
let me
model,
answer.
it should be tangent plane or
the
tangent line.
elevation, however, is depending on the gravity of vector, and the gravity of vector has to do with the surface.
Yeah, what I'm saying is the water level it's not worried about the ground below it.
No, it's worried about gravity. And
It's not worried about the ground below it, though, is it?
but gravity
Is it?
is
Is it?
yes, in a sense it is.
Right.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
What's
Yep.
gravity?
Since gravity has caused
No, we're doing a water level
test.
test. No, you do not do
Yes,
this.
this
I'm
is
going to
what
go
it
out in
does.
a bit. Shut him up,
Yeah, sorry.
somebody. Shut him
Yeah.
up. I've got to go out. I've got to do some pictures taken.
Yeah.
I want to
yeah.
get through this
Difference
video
is-
for I Can Science that. Thank you. We don't require Alphag coming in and ruining
No
this.
problem, Bev.
Thank
Just
you.
Trying
All
to
right.
describe his side. what he's
Okay,
done.
no. I'll let
Well, let
him
him do that.
describe his
Yeah.
own test. Like, please.
Yeah.
You got
I don't think he would require you speaking for him or want you speaking for him. So I'll let him speak for himself.
Where these don't form a plane, but in fact they form a great sphere. They are all touching the same sphere.
So he just said then a water level doesn't form a plane. So that's his model.
Yeah.
Right. Because I know a water level being a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference. So that should sort of be it. But I mean, I guess he's saying that's not mainstream science. But everybody knows that a water level is a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference, apart from this guy here who says mainstream science says differently.
He's right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So is a water level a tool for establishing a horizontal plane of reference, or is it not?
It would be accurate over a small distance.
What do you mean a small distance? It's a horizontal plane. It either
it's
is
not.
straight or it
You're claiming
isn't
it's a
straight.
horizontal
Come
plane.
on. Your
You're
model's
claiming it's a horizontal
ridiculous.
plane. That's what you're going to test, right?
You're going to test? No. We used
Yeah.
a tool to establish a horizontal plane to show
what
a
you think you
shared straight line segment. To
what
prove
you
proposition
think you
1 of Euclid, book 11, can be replicated in reality. That's all.
And that's what you think you can do.
Well,
So
yeah,
the
a load
idea
of
Alpha,
model-afflicted
Bev,
people got
Bev, just
involved.
carry on, mate.
Yeah.
Bev, just
Can
carry
somebody
on, mate.
mute
Sorry,
him?
Alpha.
Somebody.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I don't know.
And then let's bring
Someone.
in the red one. We'll bring in the red one. And those risers, according to globe hypothesis, those should also rise to the exact same point of the same sphere.
The globe hypothesis just happens to be exactly the same as the geometric proof of a shared straight line segment. Isn't that
So
weird?
This is the point. This is the point where he is wrong. He wrongly depicted what you will do.
No.
And that's why he's calling this test not conclusive, because now he's wrongly depicted what you will do.
We told him. We've already done it. He knows what the geometric test would be because he's just shown it. Now he's saying that there is another test that goes against the geometric test for a shared straight line segment, but doesn't go against any of the results. Doesn't seem to make any sense. Unless this guy thinks that the actual geometry of perpendicular works like this. That's the only way I can think he's actually trying to do it.
He should draw a tangent plane or tangent line, and he's not doing that. That's why he's wrong.
Yeah. Well, I'm not bothered about tangents or anything. This guy is actually saying the tool that I recognize as establishing a horizontal plane of reference actually makes a curved shape.
Yeah, you watch what his. I know that his hands aren't anything to do with it, but just watch the way he's using his hands as well to do his. Well, I don't know what he's trying to achieve with them, but a bit off-putting.
Okay.
So we do not have in this theory a single plane for these 4 points. Those are not coplanar. Those lie along a sphere, and if we slice it, right, for the diagram, that'll be a circle. Before I go on, let's say...
Wow, that was quick, right? A circle. Nicely done.
I'm not saying this is reality.
Good.
I'm saying this is the globe prediction.
Yeah, we know.
The question at
Yeah,
hand
yeah.
is whether or not reality matches either of our 2 predictions, right?
Well, we did a Euclid, realizing Euclid. So we've got Euclid backing it. As far as I can see. Geometric backing.
All he's got is this in the
Yeah.
background. The one that, like people like him defend.
Yeah. Look at that face as well. That's confident there, isn't he? Look at that. Nice.
I don't know.
The test, to be useful as a test, the test needs to show that we'll get a different result under one or the other prediction, so that we can then go out to reality and see which of the 2 predictions we got. All right, that's how a test works.
We got.
Yeah, Euclid. Well, we did
He
a
says we.
realizing Euclid, and we showed a shared straight line segment right in the center, a horizontal plane. Now, as far as I know, that's what we did. We used a tool that can be neither higher nor lower at either end of it, and all the way across the center. All points, neither higher nor lower. Right? Well, that's referenced, obviously, to a straight line, not a curve.
So he created false dichotomy. What he should do, it would be keeping the old picture and only just add this his globe.
Don't tell him what he should be doing, because then you'll be giving him ideas. Let him come up with his own ideas. The model's in his head. He'll have to justify it to himself. If you give them any ideas, they'll take them. And they'll say, well, paper told me. Don't even give them any ideas, because they will run with them.
Did you ever consider putting a water level on this type of surface and showing them what happens?
Yeah, we did this test.
I mean, on a curved surface, you know, and show them what will happen.
No. You can only do this in reality. There's only one place that these water levels work in reality.
Right.
There's only one place that horizontal planes exist.
I understand.
Reality, because there are tools that establish horizontal planes.
I know there's a mound not far from me that would mimic this surface that I could put a water level on, and you're going to need longer tubes at the ends to contain the water, or else it's just going to flow out. That's my point. Show them what happens if you put a water level on this type of surface.
He knows.
The water.
Surely he knows. He just thinks. Yeah, he thinks. This test, the one that we did that shows a straight line, he thinks it's exactly the same as this. So this is what he has in his head, even though the reality is the shared straight line segment.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's perform that same test that we did before, and we'll just show it on this diagram and see how it differs. So we start at the one end, and
Continue on,
the
Bev.
observer walks to the first pair of risers,
walks up
and
there,
measures the difference between the two water levels. And then he walks to the second pair of risers, measures the difference. The third pair of risers measures the two distances, and then we're done. Now, what are we predicting for the globe version? As I've tried to illustrate here with this diagram, the globe predicts that the green level and the red level will be the same. If they were filled to the same level to begin with, they will always stay at that same level. Under the globe version, the law of communicating vessels says that this is what happens, that those 4 points do not form a plane, but instead they form a sphere. And
I've never seen a law of communicating vessels thing look like that. Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
The way he talks about it, like you say, with his confidence, it's.
And by the way, on Friday we were talking about these drops. He said to you to show the drop here and there, and now where are drops?
There's no drop.
He completely ignored at least 1 or 2 hours of discussion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's because there is a problem between the hump and the drop. He's only showing the hump model.
If he was to draw a line from one end to the other, straight line across there, he's got the hump. Yeah. And but if he starts at one end, I'm sorry.
YouTube.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I have an overlay of the bridge of the model Afflicted, which just happens to have a straight line on it, so everybody can see that it is definitely a hump in the middle when you relate it to a straight line. And everybody knows whenever you measure anything for the height of anything. You measure it to a straight line.
Yeah, and he was just like you said, Paper. The other day, he was talking about everything away. So the person on the left that he's drawn there, everything would be below it because it's a drop from one end.
Yes,
Just thought I'd
according
make that clear for everyone.
Yeah, I just want to
Yeah,
try and give this guy a quick review of his video, right? I
Yeah,
don't want to
yeah,
go
carry
into
on.
it too
Yeah.
much.
Mhm.
Okay.
Then follows a great deal of confusion about what's the high point of the sphere, what's the low point of the sphere. Under the globe version, the concept of up is away from the center of the sphere. So these 4 points of water are the exact same distance from the center of the sphere.
No. They're the exact same distance from mean sea level. There's a difference. Mean sea level is a point, not a sphere. It's ridiculous.
And he's claiming a distance that's never been measured.
Well,
So it's a
just
fallacy.
not to the center. It's to mean sea level.
I agree.
So none of them is higher than any other. They are all at the same potential, right? They're all at the same height above the center point, right? Let me just say it one more time. I'm not saying that that's true. I'm just saying that's what the globe version.
That's what the globe model predicts.
Right?
Yes.
That's what it says.
Yes.
So if we can understand that's
So this guy's just parroting what the globe model says. Even he admits that he hasn't got a clue whether it sounds good or whether it's true or anything like that. It's just what the globe model predicts. That's it.
He does like to make it out like he's sat in the middle,
Yeah, yeah.
but it's evident that he's not.
I'm not saying what any model would predict. I'm just saying what we did, and we did it as a shared straight line test. So
you can talk about it all day and have pictures behind you, but go and get yourself water level.
Yeah, go and do it. Then go and say it curves.
So he just curved straight line.
Yeah, I think so.
For globe model.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, this is what the globe predicts would happen to a straight line. That's what he's saying. This is a horizontal plane on the globe model. That's fair enough. We know that. We were saying, is there a geometric test to prove a straight line? Because according to this, with all of the geometric backing that we have for a straight line, it would show this. According to this man.
what the model says. We don't have to agree with the model. We just
Don't have to
understand
agree with
that's
it.
what it says. Neither of these two viewers is higher than the other. On the screen, the stick man is higher than the stick woman in screen space, but not in world space, right? In world space, they are at the same height.
No way. World space. He just made that up, didn't he?
Yeah.
Wow. Screen space versus world space.
That's a good one. I hadn't heard
That's
that
good,
one.
that, yeah. Well done.
And I mean, one isn't higher than the other one. Can
Yeah.
anyone? Imagine that.
Yeah,
Can anyone
it's not.
see?
Well, I've got
Point
a
out the
straight
child.
line. Is obviously. Which one's higher, ladies and gentlemen? Well, in screen space or in world space? Like, whoa,
Non-Euclidean screen
come
space.
on.
It's a good one.
Well done. Thank you very much. So good.
The last thing I'll say here is that many people expressed that they thought that this was absurd. The idea that vertical is a different angle at different locations, and that as we walk along the surface, we're constantly updating our vertical. That's absurd. And sure, you may feel that seems absurd, but saying that's absurd is not a logical argument. Saying your idea.
Did he say that? Because there is such a thing as a reductio ad absurdum, right? Sorry, I gotta put that back again.
Saying that's absurd is not a logical argument. Saying your idea seems absurd is not critical thinking. What is critical thinking is
No way, he did.
So reductio ad absurdum is not
It's not
argument.
It's not logic, and it's not critical thinking. To show that you can accept a ridiculous absurdity. It's because he has to. They're his. The model is built on absurdities. They get upset. Sorry, guys. That's the way it is. We know what your model does, and we know your model is built on ridiculousness. And I think you do too, judging by that.
to design a test that can
Let
show
me go back. I like to hear that
saying
again.
your idea seems absurd is not critical thinking. What is critical thinking is to design a test that can show that one or another of these versions is not true.
We did a shared straight line segment test. And this guy has just bent it and gone, you can't tell the difference.
Yes, on bend you cannot, but you are doing straight line segment, not curved line segment.
Yeah, we've just said that we used the tool that establishes a horizontal plane that we could get that made it cheap enough for us to be able to do 600 meters of water level to establish a horizontal plane over 600 meters. I mean, I don't know what he thinks he's doing. I mean, bring it up. Let's have a go. Let's talk about it. I guess we do want to have another chat with him. So, yeah, it's good. We'll chat.
Let me get right down to brass tacks here.
Okay.
What is the prediction for this water level test under the globe version? We predict that the two tubes, the adjacent risers, will have water levels that are right at the same level or are offset by the exact same amount on each of the three pairs of tubes. And not too coincidentally, that's exactly what the planar version also predicts.
Wow, how can you have them both the same?
Exactly. How does he even put that out there?
Wow. Sorry, but oof.
So that's the problem with this test as stated.
It's the problem with the
It
test.
makes the same prediction for both models and therefore cannot discriminate between them.
See, now, this is where this guy's going wrong. We didn't have a model to depict this with. We did Realizing Euclid. We took Proposition 1 from Book 11, Solid Geometry, and we tried to realize that in reality as cheaply as we could to learn geometry and logic. Just so happens we used a water level because some people had tempted us in to prove something that is a self-evident thing, but we went with the straight line. I think we achieved our goal. This guy obviously thinks we achieved our goal. He's just come along afterwards and said, well, my model says that curves. Your test can't tell any difference between your straight line geometry test with all of the geometric backing that you put into it and my model, because my model says the same thing would happen. That's because your model actually says a horizontal plane. If you'd have took the time to look, you just imagine there's a curve there. There is no curve. It's just in your mind.
That is truly unbelievable, bro. That's a meme right there with his face and like, is he serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is beyond belief.
It's not higher, right? I mean, I've only got a few more minutes.
However, I think this diagram suggests to you a way that you could test it.
What?
You could use your self-same water levels to do a test fairly easily to discriminate between those, and maybe that's something we can talk about later.
What? He says something that we could do to tell the difference. I bet it's Dog Shark. I bet he's going to get his little water level thing out. I bet he is.
If there's anything
Let's have
about
a
this
peek.
test that I have misunderstood or misrepresented, please just throw it right down in the comments, and we can then discuss it further in our live chat when we get that scheduled. If you're here to tell me that I don't know what the globe version says, I guess I'm open to being corrected, but I'm pretty sure this is the model, and you're going to need to be extremely specific about what is incorrect in this diagram. That's it for tonight. Looking forward to hearing from you. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
That's
Looney
it.
Tunes music. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
So he definitely got what we were doing, what you guys were doing.
Yep.
But
Seems
as soon
like
as it's but as soon as because we all said, right, so far so good. I mean, he's got it. But then the model kicked in and it was something different. And lo and behold, you cannot tell the difference between the globe and just regular geometry using a shared straight line segment with a water
Fantastic,
level.
isn't it? Fantastic.
Yeah, it is fantastic.
It's
But
amazing.
on his second drawing, he has not got a straight line. He has curved line, and he didn't notice that.
That's
I don't know if he
intriguing.
didn't notice it or not, or it's just
No,
that the same old trope paper of that same
my
old trope
sarcasm.
of curved is level, right? We've heard it a million times. Curved is level, curved is level, curved is
It
level.
was sarcastic statement, of course, but
Oh, okay, sorry.
I think maybe audience will not notice.
Right.
I gotcha.
Can I just say that I'm going to have to go out? The missus is saying when we're going out, we're going to miss the time. So I'm going to have to close this one off. I can science that. Yes, I definitely want to talk to you again. But I obviously need to set up some more geometric things and to show you how the water level works and as a horizontal plane. You should really try and work out how the water level works on a globe model, I'm guessing, because we've done a fair bit of research and you will come up against a drop versus hump problem. Obviously, you've only just gone with the hump, which is what a lot of people go to, but you are going to have to deal with the drop as well. 8 inches per mile squared, not a hump, a rise. And then you have to deal with horizontals, and I'd say you're in for a problem. So if anybody, please, this is a short one, so if you want to come in, no doubt it will be going on for longer, but come into the Discord. I'm just going to jump in the car and go to Southport and do some filming, hopefully of some good stuff. Oh
Yeah. Thanks, Bev.
yeah, YouTube saying that Nathan's premiering a debate soon on Nathan Oakley, refracted curvature, and Rob Durham versus Ruhif and McToon. Wow, that's that one that I'm cutting at the minute for Ruhif. I hope they went to pie and stuff with him. So yeah, get into that. Jump into the Discord, please. And we'll join tomorrow, Logic Night, but I'm guessing Model Affliction's going to be going for a big time. So,
Oh, and thanks for putting my name on the title there.
yeah.
Science that. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you. So, yeah. Join us tomorrow. There'll be no Buster outro today. I'm going to have to just go.
Yeah.